right? And then this other arm comes across. So this is 27 movements. We do this movement. This is easy. So hand kind of vertical gives you a nice, thick, hard piece of bone, right? I don't want, if my hands turn this way and there's more meat, for me there's not that much meat, so it's kind of stuff. But for those guys that have more meat on their arms, I don't want to hit with meat. Remember, why would you strike with an elbow strike anyway? Pretty hard, right? So on the street, let's say we go through the same thing. We'll come back to that elbow point in a minute. And I go here. How come I don't start wailing and just throwing punches?
You can throw them back.
Good. You hit the makiwara every day, right?
Yeah, not every day, but
Not every day. So you don't hit it every day. So when I bring out the board to punch, and I'm going to have you break it, you use the punch, right? You can punch it.
So, sir.
And if I bring 2 boards? If I bring 3 boards?
Definitely not.
What about you? No, why not? Because you don't hit something hard every single day, do you? Onaga Sensei, little tiny guy about this big, looks like a fire plug, Okinawan guy, hits the makiwara every day. Went to a seminar with him, he says, oh, never punch to the head. Might hurt your hand. I look at his hand looks like a brick. I'm like, right? But it's a great point. Why would you punch somebody on the street, especially to their head, if you don't condition your knuckles? You got great striking surface here you can use. Further, a bigger issue is, when we kumite, we start from here, right? When a situation takes place that's different on the street, it usually starts more like here, right? So what changes the striking implement is the distance primarily. If we're inside swing that thing, if we're right here, how am I gonna make? I'm gonna make a punch. Yeah, I could do that, but then I'm hitting my hand. But boy, I got this really hard tool right here. I can make an even better hip torque, and I've got the right distance for it. So I recommend, especially from this kind of range, use these harder striking tools. Because if I got those 2 boards again, I said to break them, I want you to break them, you start thinking, I can do it with an elbow, right? That's what you start thinking. I'm not going to punch it. Has to be a hand technique, anything you want. I got 2 boards, what do you want to do? I'm going to elbow strike. Oh, okay. How many times have we seen that? I'm going to throw an elbow strike. Why? Because it's really strong and it doesn't hurt my arm. Good idea.
Yeah.
So when we make the vertical strike, that's easy. We do 27 movements like that. When we make this horizontal strike, the same thing. I don't want the hard part of I want the hard part of my bone to hit, not any of the meat. So if I turn more vertical, there's 2 advantages. One, I get more meat. 2, you can make this tight, yeah? Very good. So if I leave it vertical and I strike it, it kind of sucks. But just like any other technique that we throw in karate, what should happen at impact? Rotation. Torque. So if it starts this way and it turns, it's worse, right? That's not that hard. We're not doing it that hard. But you can feel a difference on the impact because I get this little bit of torque on impact. The torque is always for what? You might know. We've talked about this before. How does it make power? Strength from what?
Torque.
Hips is a great answer. That's usually the right answer when I ask a question. We're talking about torque in the hand now.
A little bit more energy.
Why is there always torque? Why is there always torque? Especially when you punch, you torque down. When you make this, you torque down. Yeah, you connect to your center, which is your hips. So you have the right answer to it. So when you make internal rotation, that's turning your arm in, which is the same thing you're doing here. Anytime you make this internal rotation kind of motion, that activates your lat muscle and your pec muscle, which are the 2 huge muscles that are around your shoulder. They're internal rotators, so they internally rotate and they help to kind of adduct or suck your shoulder towards your body. If he's making, for example, we're in total tangent, we're way off the topic. Okay. So we make a punch here, and I want you to flare this elbow a little bit. Good. You got it? Yeah. Hold it really tight. Really tight. Really tight. Now I want you to just turn this elbow down a little bit. Make your hand. Oh, there you go. Now I want you to tighten that muscle. Do you feel the difference? Yeah. Yeah. Because now you're punching, and your arm is now connected to your center. So when you see somebody's shoulder coming up when they're punching, or you see this elbow start to flail, you know they're dissociated from their body. You know they're punching with their hand instead of punching with their hip. That ain't harder, but you could feel it was more structured, more stable. So that's a good reason also to turn your hand. So my point, back to the original point, was turn that hand vertical to get the hard part of the bone so you can make a good strike.
All right, close.
Okay, versus horizontal, or some people even had it out like this. Turn that thing vertical. Make that little impact torque.
Push.
One more time each with your partner, then we'll move on.
Hey.